Welcome back, guys. I'm Taylor, and this is another video in our multi-part series on progressing in strength training. I have the pleasure of following up a nice video from Michael. If you have not looked at it, you want to check it out. He took you in this back squat environment, how to make that first work set a solid set, and what to progress to in the weeks to come. That's important because I'm relying heavily on the example he laid out in that video. So run on over and check it out and come back and join us here as I talk about progression week after week after week. First, we have to qualify here, gang, that when you look at your data, and hopefully you are writing your data down, that there is, yes, black and white text. There is just things right out there in front, but you also need to have a sense of qualifying data with that. And I always encourage our folks here at MSP Fitness to have a column in your notebook or a place where you're writing down notes. This is exclamation points, emojis, frown faces, smiley faces, a pat on the back proverbially written down so that you know, how did 200 feel? How did your first set feel? This is where you write that little like self-gratifying, I crushed it. So that when you come in on week 2, you can have some data that brings a fuller picture to strength training. Now, also when you come in on week 2, I am under the assumption that you are training back squat, the lift du jour here, on a regular basis. Varied functional training is great and it's wonderful, but don't kid yourself. If you're not seeing repeat exposures of a similar movement pattern, you have no help of getting better at that movement pattern. So hopefully, if your goal is progression and you value getting stronger, you're seeing the lift that you value getting stronger in on a repeat basis. It's week 2. We've got our data from week 1. We've got some of our notes, our smiley faces and our frown faces. How do we now craft out what's going to happen in this second environment? I hope that it's not the exact same thing, right? That's not progress, that's repeating. But I do need to say that the exact same thing isn't bad. You were standing at work all day, some life stress, traffic on the way here got you angry, your training environment was kind of thrown off whack because a phone call from a friend. It does not matter. Life happens. Someone bumped the gravity switch, and there's nothing wrong with repeating the exact same thing or lesser loads in the weeks afterwards. Progress is a zoomed out kind of 30,000 foot view of this lift we call back squat or whatever lift it happens to be. And you need to see that it's not just week by week, day by day, but zooming out that microscope to month after month and year after year, how you're progressing in a certain lift or movement. All those things aside, I'm going to assume that because things were written down and notes were written, that 95 and 200 felt pretty darn good. We never want our clients to be greedy. I would seldom, unless I had eyes on the lift, encourage someone's next week to start higher than that previous week finished, okay? We always use here at MSP Fitness the term sneaking up on your PRs. Well, this is how we do it here, and I would encourage that you take and start, all things going well, that next week's first work set somewhere around the middle sets of the previous week's data, okay? This allows me to follow Michael's previous video's 8 to 12% rule and progress to something that is ultimately higher than my week before, okay? Now we have some progress, all right? Week after week after week, I can do something similar. Now, I'm not assuming that the PRs are just gonna start rolling and that you're gonna make, 5-pound jumps every single week. But this is the framework that we set our clients up for when we chat with them. And this conversation happens regularly, guys, week in and week out. When we set them up for success on how to develop at least a plan for progression. Life will happen, but that's strength training, guys. Welcome to the sport. This is what I would encourage you to start with. This is what I'd encourage you to hang your hat on. Grabbing that second or third or kind of middle work set and starting there week after week after week to come. We got multiple videos coming up, guys. Hang on to those. Check them out in the future. This has been a video on how to progress through the weeks. Taylor here from MSP Fitness. Run on over to our website, mspfitness.com, where you'll see more content. In the meantime, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, everyone.